bowl games. Actually, right now is the Armed Forces Bowl. Missouri and Army are playing as of 15 minutes ago. So we talked about that game last week. Let's start with the Frisco Bowl then, which is tomorrow. That's North Texas, 6-6 versus Miami, Ohio Redhawks, who are also 6-6. So Blaine Gabbert's younger brother, Brett, is actually the quarterback there, and he's led a lackluster program back to the bowl ranks with the help of his top receiver, Jack Sorensen. But DeAndre Torrey for North Texas has had a sensational season, leading them to a 5-game win streak. So Miami still hasn't won a bowl game since 2010, and I think that's going to continue. I'm going to take North Texas in the upset, 24-20.
I'm going to take Miami. This game's actually kind of interesting. Two very even teams, but they go about it in a very different way. Miami's going to air it out a little bit more. North Texas does most of their damage on the ground. But I'm going to go with the team that's going to air it out. I know it's, ESPN's got it as a pretty much a pick 'em, pretty close. I think 53% leaning Miami. So I am going to go Miami. I just think they're a little bit more explosive. These games have been weird, these bowl games, where honestly,
you're doing well. You're doing better than me. So I guess I wanted to run over that. Going into tonight's game, you are 8-3 in your bowl picks, and that is 2 ahead of me. I am 6-5.
Yeah, I've been doing all right. I'm gonna go Miami in this one though. Yep.
Okay. Well, then it's kind of different than last week, where we started out pretty much making pick for pick on the same. So, who are you taking in this Gasparilla Bowl? Central Florida is 8-4. Florida is 6-6. It's been a weird year, but what are you thinking here?
I don't know, because I'll probably pick. This is a weird game. Florida stinks. For being completely
for Florida
honest,
standards, for sure.
Legitimately stink. I'm actually going to go UCF here, and the reason I'm going to go UCF, I think Florida's a better team, but I don't think Florida's going to care about this game.
Gus Malzahn's going to care,
and I think UCF is going to care because this matters to them for recruiting standpoints. From just in general, just hey, it's not a rivalry because they don't play all the time, but it's like
they're in the same state. Yeah,
they're in the same state. It matters. And if Malzahn, or I think Malzahn's probably just using this as a springboard to something else at some point. But if UCF wants to continue, if they want to be able to take some guys that maybe Florida wants down the stretch or down the road from a recruiting standpoint, then they, I think they're going to go after this game with everything they have. So.
Okay. I guess we'll be different on this one too. It does feel weird that Emory Jones is still going to play in this game despite 10 days ago, saying he's going to enter the transfer portal.
Yeah, I don't get that.
There's a lot of changes coming Florida's way, and it's the question of, will Gus Malzahn be able to win this in-state battle with Billy Napier watching? I mean, Florida doesn't
have a coach either. Florida doesn't have a. They have
an interim coach right now. Billy Napier has been at least announced as their coach.
Yep.
But it's going to be interesting because I think that's the only reason that players may fight is the ones coming back. Seniors may not give a rip because they're not coming back, but the players still have to make an impression for the next guy. So I expect the progress they've made in the last couple weeks to continue. I think it's going to be a shootout. I'll take Florida 48-35.
Yeah, I think it'll be high scoring for sure.
Hawaii Bowl. Memphis 6-6 and Hawaii 6-7. Hawaii is the only team with a losing record to make it to a bowl game. Hawaii's really been disappointing this year, though it's essentially a home game for them. And they've been 4-2 at home with both of those 2 losses coming in a one-score game. Yeah. I think I'm going to take Hawaii in a double OT thriller, though. I'll say 44-38 Hawaii.
I am going to pick Memphis. I think Hawaii's quarterback came out and said he didn't want to play for their head coach anymore, and so did a bunch of other.
This is news to me. I should have done more research.
Todd Grantham. Apparently, they all a bunch of players hate that guy, so they don't want to play for him, and it's in shambles over there, is what I've read. So I'm going to pick Memphis.
That's a fair reason. I did. Good grief.
That's apparently what's going on there. They've had a bunch of people enter the transfer portal. Let me look this up real quick. I remember. I read that.
Is he kicking people? Did he take advice from Urban Meyer?
Todd Graham is their head coach. University of Hawaii's football team is miserable, and Todd Graham is the culprit.
Oh, boy.
This is fun. And he's had abuse allegations. and he's under fire for alleged mistreatment. So maybe he is kicking people. I don't know.
I may have to take it. I don't know, man. I almost feel like I should switch that one. I did not know that when I was looking things up. But
Memphis is like an 8-point favorite or something, but I'm going to go with Memphis.
okay. Well, the Camellia Bowl, Georgia State 7-5 versus Ball State 6-6. Who are you taking in this game?
I don't know. These are both two very similar teams. They go about it kind of differently again. I'm going to pick Georgia State. I'm going to pick a team that, does it a little bit more on the ground. Both kind of very similar, very, very similar teams. I think it'll be close, maybe a little bit lower scoring, but I'll go Georgia State.
Okay. I'm also taking Georgia State 27-17. They don't make a lot of mistakes. Georgia State doesn't. So, and I think that's partially due to their efficient quarterback play from Darren Granger. Ball State's also in the middle of a skid, losing 2 of its last 3. So it's just, I think Georgia State's disciplined team is gonna take them to a 27-17 win.
We're definitely gonna be watching that Christmas Day.
I think, yeah, we will probably, because what else are we do on Christmas besides spend time with family?
Exactly.
The Quick Lane Bowl at Ford Field.
Yep.
Western Michigan 7-5 taking on the Nevada Wolfpack, who are 8-4. Now Carson Strong will be looking to go out strong according to his last name.
Yeah.
Western Michigan is not going to make it easy. Sean Taylor and Ladarius Jefferson have been a nice running back tandem. Sky Moore is a great wide receiver, and Caleb Ellaby is there to slow the game down. But if Western can lock down Romeo Dubes' connection with Strong, I think they can take the upset. And I'm going to say they do take the upset, 31-30.
I'm actually going to pick Western as well. I like Ellaby. Ellaby actually, I think, will get a good chance in the NFL. I think he's legit. I think he's just playing probably a little bit below what he is. He's only a sophomore too. So Strong's good though. So I actually think it's going to be high scoring. But I'll pick Western in like a 40 to 31, 42-35 type of game. So
okay. Good. Yeah. Military Bowl, Boston College 6-6 versus East Carolina Pirates 7-5. Who are you thinking in this game?
I am going to go with I don't know. These are two ugly teams. I'm going to go with East Carolina.
Okay.
East Carolina, a little bit better offense. Boston College quarterback play is like just kind of not great all year. I'm going to go East Carolina in a close one.
Yeah, I am taking East Carolina 27-20. So, yeah, that is close. I think it's going to be due to a solid performance from Keaton Mitchell on the ground and Holt Nailers at quarterback. But head coach for Boston College, Jeff Hafley, has a real opportunity to build momentum going into his 3rd year for them next year. So they just got to face a Pirates team that's won 4 of their last 5, and I think that's going to be a task. So, yeah, I'm going to go with you and take the Pirates as well. Birmingham Bowl, number 20 Houston, 11-2 versus Auburn, 6-6 out of the SEC. It's actually a fun game to watch despite the disparity in regular season wins. TJ Finley is going to make plays for Auburn as he did to keep up with Bama being injured. But Clayton Tune is a good quarterback for the Cougars. I think the Tigers are going to be heavy reliant on Tank Bigsby and will refuse to go out with a 5-game losing streak on the year. So I'm going to take Auburn 34-27.
I'm actually going to take Houston here. We're going to be a little bit different. I just don't love Finley. I mean, I know he made some plays to keep him in the game against Bama, but that game's always weird every year. I like Tank Bigsby, but I just don't Auburn doesn't have enough. They don't have any kind of juice going into this game to me. And I think Houston, they kept it relatively close for a period of time against Cincinnati, and I think if they just play that well again, then they're going to be fine.
Mm-hmm. First Responder Bowl, Air Force 9-3 versus Louisville 6-6. What's your pick?
I'm gonna go Air Force here.
Okay. Yeah, I am taking Louisville actually, but it's going to be so close. I have 30-27 Louisville. The Cardinals don't see triple option offense very often, but I think they have the skill players, and I think with the time between their last game and the bowl game schedule announcements, they're going to have some time for preparation against it. And Malik Cunningham, I think he's going to need his A game this week because Air Force is definitely a fit. I think it's a close game, but I'm going to go with Louisville.
All right.
Um, Liberty Bowl, Mississippi State 7-5, Texas Tech is 6-6. So expect the Mike Leach Bowl to be a shootout. Both
Yeah,
offenses are capable. I think they're able to do it a shootout if it demands. Will Rogers is a really good quarterback, and so I think that's going to be the pick for me. I'm going to lean on Will Rogers to have a good performance. I'm going to say 49-42.
I'm going to go Mississippi State as well, and I think they actually win by at least 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
It still might be high scoring, but I think it'll be like 49-35 or 42-28 or something like that.
All right, I'm with it. Holiday Bowl, UCLA 8-4 versus number 18 North Carolina State, who are 9-3. What do you think in this game?
I'm actually going to go UCLA here. Dorian Thompson-Robinson making plays, Zach Charbonnet on the ground. I think with some time to prepare, Chip Kelly will have a good game plan going. NC State doesn't do anything amazing. They've got a good team, certainly. And Leary at quarterback has had a great season. 35 touchdowns, 5 picks, but they're a little bit one-dimensional with him. So I'm going to go UCLA here.
Yeah, I'm going to go opposite. I love that we're pretty different this week. But I think, future NFL wide receiver Dorian Thompson-Robinson, he's going to keep the game competitive.
Definitely.
The Bruins can run the ball against anybody, so they're going to get their scores and they're going to try to set the tempo with it. And like you said, Charbonnet, the former Wolverine, has had a nice year for them as well. So an upset's not going to be a surprise to me. But I think I'm going to take the NC State squad led by Devin Leary to win 34-31.
All right.
Guaranteed Rate Bowl, West Virginia Mountaineers are 6-6 versus the Minnesota Golden Gophers 8-4. So one could argue West Virginia actually has more superstars, but I believe Minnesota is better coached, and I think they're more disciplined. I'm going to take the Big Ten here in a close game, 28-27.
I'm also going to pick the Big Ten. I just think they're going to control the clock, control the game. They're going to run the ball. Tanner Morgan is less than ideal at quarterback, but I think he makes enough plays to keep him on schedule. Chris Hartman-Bell, I think, is a good receiver. He just has bad quarterback play. But they're going to run the ball. Minnesota's ran the ball on everybody this year, including Ohio State, which
even without their 5 running backs that have gotten hurt.
Yeah, I mean, Mo Ibrahim, if he was there, he could have ran for 2,000 yards this year. I mean, he was off to before he got hurt. He could have been crazy. So
yeah, he was a Heisman favorite early on in depth. So
I'm gonna go Minnesota. Might be a close one just because they're not explosive per se, unless they just start ripping off crazy runs. But I think they're gonna wear them down and win it in the end.
That's kind of my thought process too. The Fenway Bowl. This is gonna be kind of fun because it's at Fenway Park, but SMU 8-4 versus Virginia 6-6. It's just there's 2 quarterbacks I really like in this game. So what do you think?
I'm gonna go with Tanner Mordecai in this one. I'm gonna go with SMU. I think it'll be kind of a bit of a shootout. Mordecai was at Oklahoma last year.
Yep.
I like him. I mean, I like the way he fits that offense. So I'm gonna go him SMU over Virginia, but I think it'll be high scoring for the most part. So yeah, maybe like a 35-30 type of game.
Really close to my prediction. I had 38-32, but I am taking Virginia and Brennan Armstrong. So like I said, 2 quarterbacks really like Mordecai and Armstrong. Both teams have new coaches next year, and both teams are top 25 scorers in the country this year. So it's going to actually be a fun game, despite obviously you look at a 6-6 and an 8-4 team. I think this actually be a fun game to watch.
Definitely.
Pinstripe Bowl, Maryland 6-6 versus Virginia Tech Hokies, who are also 6-6. I usually like to pick the Big Ten teams, but I just think Virginia Tech is the better team this year. They run the ball better. Talia is a little too erratic for me to trust against him in a ball hawking Virginia Tech team. So I'm going to say it's going to be close. I'll say 29-23 VT.
Yeah, I don't like Maryland at all. I mean, Tagovailoa's got actually pretty good numbers if you look at it, but he's erratic. That's a great way to put it. He's makes too many mistakes, too many very big mistakes, and I think Virginia Tech's just going to take care of the ball a little bit better. It'll come down to some turnovers, and Maryland will kind of implode. So I'll go Virginia Tech as well.
All right. Second to last one here, the Cheez It Bowl. Number 19, Clemson, 9-3 versus Iowa State, 7-5. What do you think here?
This one's weird. I think Clemson has sort of figured a couple things out, though. And I think Dabo it's crazy. Everybody's just kind of crapped all over them all year, but they got a chance to win 10 games again. And I think they do. I'm going to go Clemson in a close one, kind of maybe low scoring though, because I don't think either offense really. I know, Breece Hall's got 20 touchdowns on the year, and he's had a great season and really, been an incredible running back. And Brock Purdy's been decent. And I know early on in his career, everybody was like, oh, this guy could be an NFL guy, and he still might be. But I just think Clemson's defense is kind of what carries them now. And I think they've kind of figured some things out lately. You're in a close one, maybe 27-20, 27-24, something like that.
Okay. I think it's weird to say that if Clemson wins, it's technically an upset, but Iowa State's really looking to send out Breece Hall and Brock Purdy as winners. Clemson's improved drastically the last several weeks, so can DJ continue his progress? I'm going to say yes, and I think Clemson does also hit their 10 wins, but maybe not as low scoring as yours. I'm going to say 38-28. I think both teams definitely have the ability to be explosive. And yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I actually, you mentioned Brock Purdy in the NFL. I actually don't hate if the Lions want to use a 5th round pick on Brock Purdy.
Yeah. A guy like that, high upside.
I think he's better than Tim Boyle. So that's where I'm at with that.
Yes, he is. He is better than Tim Boyle. I think it's definitive.
So the last one here.
Tim Boyle.
I don't hate that idea at all. So the last one here, before the final, I think it'll probably be the final 12 games, but the Alamo Bowl is the number 14 Oregon Ducks 10-3 versus number 16 Oklahoma Sooners who are 10-2.
2 teams without a coach.
Yes. But Oregon's also now without Kayvon, so he's resting up and preparing for his NFL draft experience. Freshman quarterback Caleb Williams is going to have less pressure to deal with in that aspect, and I think this game likely launches his Heisman candidacy for 2022. So I'm going to say Oklahoma 34-24.
Yeah, I'm going to go Oklahoma mostly because Oregon, they've just been falling apart this end of the year.
Add missing your superstar on top of that.
Yeah, missing your best player overall, who's been actually relatively, I know he's had injury problems this year, but he's been relatively underwhelming in all actuality this season. And I'm pretty sure, isn't Joe Moorhead leaving too to be a head coach somewhere, their offensive coordinator?
Correct.
Akron, I think. That's where he's going.
You got to start somewhere.
Well, he's already been the head coach of Mississippi State, which is weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, whatever. But yeah, so they don't have any coaches. So I'm going to go Oklahoma. I know Lincoln Riley left, but I think they're going to have it figured out. Bob Stoops knows what he's doing. He's their interim coach. He's been plugged into the program ever since he left anyway. So he'll have him ready to go and fired up. So I'm going to go Oklahoma. And honestly, I think Oklahoma wins by 10 to 15 points. I think they win, not easily necessarily. I think it'll be an entertaining game, but I think they definitely win going away in the end. So
yeah,